Land Rover Discovery 4. Right, so we have these new super cool DRL fog lamp 2-in-1 super lights. And we are going to install these in oh, what's going on? I'll show you them all in a minute. But we are going to fit these in here on our Discovery 4. So these lamps in the bumper are just fog lamps. You've got some daytime running lights, signature lights, but they're not that cool in the Disco 4 headlights. And this will be the same for the, this is actually a 2010 Discovery 4, but we've changed it to the 2014. But this bit and the fog lamps will be the same for both. Not the same for Disco 3. We've already done the video for fitting these in a Discovery 3, but it's slightly different, and we'll put the video there somewhere. Right, so we are going to show you how to take out your fog lights, and we're going to take out the headlights and the grille. We have got a kit. Let's have a look at the kit. So we have got fog lights. So these are 2-in-1. So you've got the middle bit is an LED fog light, and it gives a nice low fog light beam. And then you've got this sort of C shape. Right, so we've got a daytime running light that lights up this sort of C shape, and obviously you have two C's facing each other. The fog light is simple, just plug that in. What we're going to focus on more is this extra wire, and that is the daytime running light. Now, under European/UK law, if you've got daytime running lights, obviously they need to be bright in the day so that people can see you and see you coming, and they're a cool safety feature, and they look good too. But when it's night, if they stay the same brightness to be bright in the day, when they're at night, they're like blinding and like that. Ugh. So it's polite and civil, and I think legal, that either your daytime running lights need to turn off or they dim like that. So we've designed this circuit board. Now we did a video and we tested some sort of eBay Chinese circuit boards, and they all sort of claim to do the right stuff, but when we tried them, we couldn't find them that good. So we've worked with our buddy Bernard, and we've designed our own. So this is, we've got our name on it somewhere, like Powerful UK Limited. And this is quite a simple to wire, but loads of functions. And we've got a little microprocessor and all sorts going on in it. And basically what it does is, when you turn your lights on, the daytime running lights reduce. When you indicate, boop, 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 that daytime running light will turn off while your indicator's going. When you finish indicating, it will come back on again. When you turn your car off and walk away, it will leave the lights on for 30 seconds. Also, you don't need to find an ignition live. You just find a battery live. And when you start your car up, your alternator starts charging your battery, and your battery voltage goes from sort of 12.5 up to 14. And this has got a voltage sensor, and when it sees the 14 volts, bam, it lights up the daytime running light. So it means it's really easy to wire. We have got a wiring loom we're going to show you how to install, which will connect to the daytime running lights, also pick up your indicator signals and your side light signal. And then we've got a battery connection loom as well that connects to the battery. We are going to have a go at doing that. Right, let's do it, Tyler. I've got Tyler helping me today. Right.
Step one.
Step one, open the bonnet. Step two, remove the grille. So you've got these little fold down bits there. Right. Step three, you've got to give it a pull. Now, is this a pull one or is this a little squeezy one?
Find out.
Find out.
Give it a pull.
I can't remember. I'll do too many of these. 1, 2, 3. It's a little, it's a little docking one, yeah? So it just pushes into those little docks. So that's good. Right, we've got the grille.
Excitement.
Right. Next thing, remove the headlight. Not scared. It's a nice bit of design. If only the Defender was cool like this, where you could just unclip it. So there's this little sort of semicircle. I've forgotten what the word for semicircle was. And there's another one hiding in there. And yours will be a bit stiffer than this. And you have to jiggle it because you've got to get it sort of lined up here. You have to sometimes give it a wiggle so that the circles line up on those little... You should have a little bit of length. Oh, someone's been playing in here. Oh, have I been experimenting? Right, and there's a little button to press on the top. It's probably a bit dark.
Just about
there.
to see.
There you go, press that little button there, and that will release the headlight. Right, so we've got the headlights out. Oh, let me squeeze behind the tyre. Sorry if I can... Oh, this one's going to fight me, mate. Right, there you go. Oh, oh. Right, screwdriver.
Yep.
Oh, no. Right. So yeah, this is what you're going to have to do probably. So see if you can. There you go.
Struggle a bit.
Struggle a bit. Give it a wiggle.
We may make it look easy.
See, we do.
Sometimes.
Yeah, hold on. I'm making it not look so easy now. Why is this one fighting me, Tyler? Why isn't it not loving me?
This side's out.
Oh, there you go. Right.
Just a bit
Same
sticky.
thing. Button on the top. Pull. Right. Now we've got to take out the fog lights. Right, Tyler, give me the camera. You do some work. Right. You got your little tool there.
Some sort of trim tool or screwdriver.
Now you might have the rounder fog bezels, but they're basically the same. Some of the early ones have a little hole at the top there, and you can pull it out. But it's basically a pop-in job. Right. That's it. Pull it out. So this one's got these sort of plastic springs. You might have metal springs, but that releases that, and then inside you will see the fog light, and it should have 4 screws. We've only got 3 on this one. We've lost some along the way. We've coloured our screws in orange to make it easier for you. We like orange, but not that much that we're going to colour them in for the sake of it. Right then.
Torx T20.
Torx T20. Screwdriver. Put that out. Yeah, and they're a sort of self-tap-in, coarse threaded, and they're all the same. Yeah, 1, 2. If I was good at video editing, I could make it look like there was 4 trying. Oh, don't drop them. Not on camera. Right.
Off camera.
Right, there you go. Right, pull that out.
It's out.
So this is a normal fog light, and there's a little button to press somewhere on the back of
I
that.
don't think there is a button.
Isn't
I
there?
think we've got these,
Must
like,
be something.
there's
Oh, they
these,
got
like,
little wings.
Yeah.
Now, press the other end of the wings. Is that having it?
Shove it in, I think.
Let's have a look. What we got going on here? We ain't got a lot of length. No, I think I will
You just
concede.
pry 'em off.
Yeah, just pry them off. Tyler's right.
That's not frequent.
No, I'll agree with that. Oh, he's getting one loose and the other's popping back off again. He's chasing his tail. Go on, give it a tug. Oh, come, there you go. Let me just have it. I'm intrigued by that one. Yeah, so there is no, it would be nice if they'd extended them out the back, so they sort of, but they don't on these. Right, there is the fine, and that's got a halogen bulb in there. Right, we're gonna, so that connector should be the same, hopefully, as those others we've got. And now what we've obviously got the indicator connector. We've got to get onto here to connect the indicator. Right, what we're going to do next. Right, I'll get Tyler to whoop that one out, and then we'll come back and have a look at the next step. Right, we are going to put this wiring loom in. So, on one end, there's all these. This is going to feed our super duper control board, and that is going to live up in that corner there.
On the battery side.
On the what, sorry?
Battery side.
On the battery side. Good point, Tyler, because if you live in America or some other exotic place, and you've got your steering wheel on that side, you will have your battery on that side, and you will need to put this gubbin on the battery side. Right, but we are in the UK.
We're normal.
We're normal. Well, I know we're far from normal, Tyler, let's be honest. But yes, right. So we are going to run the wire round here, and we're going to go, there's enough room for the headlight there to clear there, and we're going to go up this for no other reason that, oh, is that cable tie long enough, Tyler? Oh, I reckon he will be, with a bit of skill. Oh, might have to get some bigger cable ties.
Don't need bigger cables. Just use 2.
Ah, yeah, you know, I was about 19 when someone showed me that. I was like, wow, that's so cool. How could I have gone 19 years of my life and not realise you can put 2 cable ties
Well, I was about
together?
20 because it wasn't that long ago.
It's like, there you go. Put 2 together, Tyler.
It's just 1 + 1.
It is. Right, that's it. Right, so we'll tuck that, will go around there. Right, now this is the tricky bit. Right, it's not really tricky. Now these 2, the black and the orange, are going to go down for the earth and the feed for the daytime running light. Now we're not going to use the earth with these fog lights because you saw it's just a single yellow wire, but I put it there in case anyone's got a different type where you do need an earth and a positive. Right, now we should be able to put our hand up there, look, and get that there. Right, so we will leave that there. This one is the indicator, so this is green and white, and we've got to get the wiring diagram. But let's have a look. Is it the same as on the other one?
It should be a green and something.
It's a green and white. There it is. It's the same. Look, it's on pin 3. So you've got the connector there. So the green and white wire goes on to the green and white wire. Look at that. Right, that's why I designed it like that. Right, we'll get that over there. Let's just get this other side sorted. Now we got this wrong on the last one, did we, Tyler? Well, I say we. I did. I tried to blame Tyler.
And I followed through.
Purple and black is going to go down here. So again, we can get our hand up here. Feed that in there. And we have got. Oh, let's try and get it neat. There we go. Let's have that. Got black, and then that one then. So on here we have got the red and green, which is going to go onto the back. This one's been played with, but on this top row here, next to the clip, we have got a green and red. There you go. I don't know if that focuses. And then the side light, I believe, is this red one at the top there. So that red and black one there. Is it red with a little blacky stripe? Yeah, that is the side light. So the wire for the side light is the yellow. I did that yellow because it was sort of like light shining yellowy colour. Right, so that's going to go there, and then that's ready for that. We will tidy this up and come back and do the next bit. Are you all sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. That's what they used to say, wasn't it? Right, what have we got in this little magic box? See, I'm getting old, Tyler, see? I've got to sit down. Right then, so we have 2 lights. Now, the fog light is at the top, and you can see in there's a little LED. So that is always at the top. And then it forms a sort of a C shape. So this one goes on the right, and the other one, we got to get the LEDs on the top. The LEDs are there. So the other one will go like so. So that's your left and your right sorted. Now, for the Disco 3 and the Sport, we had to swap this bezel over, this bracket over. For our own custom bracket, but this bracket should fit. We've got the 4 tabs on here. Just this little screw, if you need to, is adjusting the beam. So when the bracket's mounted, it moves this whole body up and down. So if you're particular about your beam location and where you want your light, you can adjust this. Now, you should, in theory, be able to come up through. You used to be able to come up through underneath the bumper. There used to be a hole in some of the bumpers. I'm not sure whether they got one in these. It looks not. That was a good idea once upon a time, and you could come up and adjust it. But you're going to have to, unfortunately, park it against your garage wall, have a look at your beam pattern, and take it out, adjust it, and pop it back. It's not a big deal. Right, let's unscoop the wires. Right. Now the fog light should. Now this is the key. So the fog light, this connector can go either way round. It can go this way round, this way round. So you need to pick the one. Now, hopefully we've got some. Right, one of those is black and one of those is purple. We've got
just about see that.
Just about see that. Bluey doesn't give you a lot of length on this one, does it? But you're gonna have to believe us if not. And on this one we've got a black and a red. So we've got to make sure the black line goes through and marries up with the black line on that one.
Black and black.
Black and black. So it comes through here, through the connector, and out on the black. That is the fog light wiring done. Right, this is the culprit now. We've now got to get the connector. Now, that one connects to... Make sure we've got this routed nicely. That is going to go onto there. I should have done that. Right. So we need to join these 2 wires together. We're going to leave the earth for now, but right, those 2 there. And we're going to use, right, these aren't proper wire strippers. People get offended. I use the wrong tools. There we go. Right. Now you could solder these together and put heat shrink over, which would be a much nicer way of doing it. But we're just doing it quick. And the other thing is I want to do it in the way that most people will have the stuff at home to do it with. Right. And then in the kit we've got these little crimp connectors. People are going to be horrified. Oh, this is where we have to do it together, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah. Need 3 hands.
We're getting good at this. This is our 3rd video in this series. Right, and Tyler, without destroying my fingers, can you do this and film?
I'll do it right-handed. So otherwise I will destroy a few fingers.
there, onto there. That's it, that looks pro.
Right. Oh,
Squeeze.
drifting a bit.
Alright. Go on then. It's that final bit. Go on. Go on. Let go. Is it there? There you go. You could do another one a little bit further up here for me as well.
Just for neatness sake.
Just as we're on YouTube and people will be watching. Go on, that's it. Right then. Right, give it a tug, check that's alright. Right, that should be all the connections we need to do there, and we can actually pull a bit of that back. Right, make sure you don't trap this box. So throw him in there. Right, check that all back. I'll have the plastic off it. Right, and then right, there we go, yeah, he just sits on the front there. Right, grab your screw. Right, people don't really need to watch me screw. I'll screw the first one back in and then I'll get on and do it. I can reach that, that's what I got. Right, now I don't recommend, I mean you could almost just screw it in with a couple of screws to start with. I don't recommend screwing it in with all four and putting the bezel back in until you've tested it's all working. And likewise with the headlights, you just want to clip them back in quickly, but we'll carry on. We'll get this one in and we'll get the one on the other side in. But on the other side, remember, make sure you have got, so you just plug in the fog light in and it's the purple wire. The purple wire connects to the yellow wire. Okay, watch that. Right, so we've got both of these in. Now they were actually a bit of a squeeze. I thought I'd got it in earlier, but you do have to squeeze them in. They do get quite close on the side of the bumper, but we got them both in. Tyler's got the other one. He's connected the purple wire. We're all good. Right, so now we've got to connect the headlight wire. So we're using these Scotch blocks. So basically, you've got two holes here. You put the two wires in, and then there's this little metal bit which comes down, and it doesn't cut through the wires, but it cuts into them and forms an electrical connection between the two. So it's not professional way. You know, a neater way might be to solder it, but we will have a go. Right. So we're going to get onto that. You've got to get, so that's on the inner track. And then I've got the green and white. And you want it sort of coming into the back of the headlight. Now you don't really want this wire, because you can get it all the way through like that. But you don't really want it, because it could short. You want it just where you can see the end of it, but not doing any damage. Right, shall we see if I can get this right this time, Tyler?
I bet you can.
I bet I can. I got it. Oh, look at that. I think
Got the experience.
he's there.
The willpower.
Willpower. Right, there we go. So you want to get that in, and then close the little flap to prevent that shorting. And that is how we connect that. So I'll get Tyler to do the other side, and I'll show you what he's done. But basically, he's going to connect the green with a red stripe to the green with a red stripe. And then you are going to connect the yellow wire to the pin 2, which will be a red and orange or something similar. We'll go and have a look on the other side. Right, we are all wired in, just to confirm. So the green and red goes to the green and red, and the yellow wire goes to the red with a black stripe on this side. So that's us all connected, ready to go. So now we need to do these onto this controller board. Now this controller board looks scary, but let's have a quick look at it. So basically these two are your outputs to your daytime running lights, and we've got a plus and a negative. Now the two negatives are actually joined together. If you look on the back of the circuit board, you can see this little connection there. So it doesn't matter, we'll just connect the black for the negative, even though it's not connected, we'll connect it onto one of those. And then the right hand side, so the left side was the purple was this side, wasn't it, Tyler?
Yeah.
And then the orange was the other side. So we'll connect those two onto the DRL positives. Now, the others all go on the top, and so let's have a look what we've got at the top. So, right, I'll turn it the other way up. So we've got left-hand indicator. So this is the input from the indicator that we connected over there, which was the green and white. Then you've got the battery, plus and minus. Then you've got, is it not focusing, Tyler?
It's getting
right,
there.
it's getting there. Then we've got the light signal input, which is the yellow one. Then we've got the right-hand indicator, which is, actually I've got, that's the green and white, isn't it? This is the left-hand indicator, which is the green green and red. Right, we'll do it now and you'll have a look. So, right, now because these two are the outputs and go in this side, I'm going to shorten these so that I can then flip those over. But before we do any of that, what have we nearly forgotten, Tyler?
Heat shrink.
Heat shrink. Right, so in the kit is a bit of heat shrink which is going to cover over all of this and keep most of the elements off it. So before you do any wiring of the main bit, get that over there. Slip that out of the way. Right. Okay, so I'm going to take the two DRL ones, purple and orange, get those relatively short. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to twist those up to get them nice and tight, and then I'm going to cut them again because you don't get much length, and you don't. I'll show you when we put them in the terminal block. You don't want a load of exposed copper if we can help it. So you only need about that much. Just enough to get on that. Whoa, missed it. Whoa, missed it again.
Don't need to be long at all.
Right, so let's have a. So this is the left-hand side of the car, Tyler,
Yep.
and this was the purple. So that's right, isn't it? Left, purple, right. So we are going to go on the DRL. That's the right. That's the left. That's the positive. Okay. I think Ben's done a nice picture in the. He'll put a nice picture on the website listing. We haven't put them on the website quite yet, but by the time you watch this video, they'll be on. Right then, DRL right, DRL right, positive. Okay, yeah. So again, you don't want too much. You don't want any copper exposed there if you can help it. Right then, the next one's the black, which is the negative. Go on to any of those two. Now we have listed these control boards for use on other cars as well, because I think they should work on any DRLs, but obviously we can't support the full wiring solution on other cars. Alright, there we go. I'll get those going around the back of the circuit board. Be neater. Right, okay, so we've just got room. Right, indicator. So this side indicator is the left, and that's the green and red. Right, green and white is the right hand indicator. That's the light. So this is the light signal. Oh look, I put it in the wrong one. Right, there you go. We rushed that a little bit at the end there, but I've got that nice and neat now. So you can see the colours there going into the correct ones. So we are now ready for the power loop. So the power loop is, a separate loop. So what have we got? We have got, we'll do the connections into the battery box last, but we'll start to have a look. So if you open up these little two tabs there, you can take off the battery box lid. And then there's a second cover here. Push that one that way. Wrestle that off. Oh, push it that way even. There you go. Right. And that's all our fuses there. Now, we'll worry about that. We'll lie that there. Now, got to be careful. If you've got one of these fuel burning heaters, this exhaust here gets hot. So we need to make sure we've got the sheath there. And we need to try and keep it away from that as much as possible. Right, and we need to get the positive and negative down here. But we'll worry about routing that in a minute. Let's just get these two connected in. So, again, it's the same as we've been doing before, but this is going to go up in here. And we need to get the... Let's just get those removed and get the red in the battery positive. Now, you want to work your way back to the battery, because if you connect the battery first, you're going to end up with live wires everywhere, which is not good. Right, so we've got the plus and minus in there, and then just to stop anything touching, we won't heat shrink it yet. We'll do that after we've debugged it. There is a fuse on here for extra protection, so obviously if you get into a lot of problems, that may well be your... But once you've heat shrunk it, it's going to be tricky to... But better to have it there and not. Right, so at least nothing's gonna short out or touch anything. Right, where's that cable gone? Right, so let's get the negative onto, right, there's a spare earthing post here. That's a 10mm socket, you need to get that. And the eyelet is designed to fit, hopefully, yep. My luck, they changed the size of the battery post, the earthing post. Disco 4, right, here we go. Right. Now we go, let's keep that up there. Right, and then we should be able to pull that, there he goes, he's going in there, look. Right, now, there is a fuse that says it's not used. So on the inside cover here, let's get this to right here. So these are these bigger fuses, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with nothing. But there's a battery voltage there. So I've gone for the 6 one here, and I've coloured it orange, yours won't be orange. And then we're going to plug, ooh, trash in my car. Right, we're going to plug that in there, and you need to get this wire tucked inside this case, down this edge here.
Pop up with this other positive.
Right, let's see how, so I can get him there, he's out of the way there, and then he comes alongside that positive like Tyler was saying, and then down by that little foam strip there. Could even hoop him under that earth thing there. Right, and then we will put that back on so we don't lose it. Positive. Put that one back on for the minute. Keeping that safe. Right, what are we on now?
Pretty much there.
We are then pretty much there. So
your headlight.
you need to route this. Be careful of this. Do not leave this here. You're going to have to find some way of securing that, ideally up into there. Look, we could put a cable tie. There's a possibility to put. I think we'll put a cable tie around there. So grab me a cable tie. Oh, thank you. I think just it's a bit messy, but I don't think that water seals that. But I'd rather that than it melt against that there.
Yeah.
So I think we could just, don't do it too tight. Leave it like that and we'll cut that off in a minute. But at least that keeps it away from there. Right. Now, again, we've got this hot bit here, so we want to try and keep away from that. But I think we've got room just to tuck it in behind here. Again, we'll heat shrink it in a minute. Just want to, like, that's neat, isn't it? As long as we can get the headlight in there. Right, let's just check we can get the headlight inside it and we're ready for a test. Right, so we've got that all in. We've tested it. It all worked first time. Didn't on the Disco 3, but it did. We're getting good, Tyler, aren't we? Well, we're getting average. Right, so there's your fog light, 2-in-1 DRL and fog light. Right, Tyler, you knock the lights off and let's have a go. So, Tyler's putting the lights off. Yeah, don't suffocate us too much. Right. So Tyler's going to get in the car, he's going to start it. It'll take a little delay, but then the daytime running lights will come on. So here we go. So you notice the car's daytime running lights have come on, and then ours come on slightly later. But that's fine. Right, now let's try indicating, Tyler. So if you indicate, so you notice it's extinguished, this one. So if you cancel the indicator, and then you wait, it will come back on. There's a slight delay, and then if you do the other side, the same thing happens, just so your indicator is more. So if you cancel that one, right, then that one will come back on. And then if you turn the headlights, or the hazards actually, that's a good one. When you do the hazards, they both go off, which makes your hazards more visible. Wait for them to come back on. A slight delay. Right, if you go to the headlights, you'll notice the DRL's dim. So do that again, off, and then onto headlight again. You'll see the DRLs are dimming. Right, the other thing we can try then is the fog light. Right then, Tyler, if you put the fog lights on, there we go, you can see the beam pattern there, the fog lights off again, on again. Right, what we'll do now, quickly, we'll spin the car round and we'll shine it against the garage door so you can see the beam pattern. Right, so that's the beam pattern of the dipped headlights on the door. And then if I turn the fog lights on, you can see the fog light beam there, and you can see that it's low down and goes all the way across. There you go. So that's a pretty good fog light beam, that is. That's the perfect pattern you want. Right, one last thing I wanted to say was, if you're using a battery charger, particularly these C-Tech battery chargers, on your car, you might find that the fog lights come on periodically. I'm waiting now to see if it'll do it. Because what the C-Tech battery charger will give it a pulse of 14 volts just to keep the battery topped up. And then what happens is the control circuit thinks your fog light thinks your engine started and your fog lights will turn on. So what you need to do is disconnect the fuse in the fuse box if you're worried, or just let it turn on and off. It doesn't matter. But yeah, if you see your fog lights pulsing when the battery's on charge, that's what's happening.